Good afternoon, Bloomington. You're listening to WAOX LP Bloomington. This is Growing Pains, the show where we do a lot of cool things, including interviewing local artists. I am joined in the studio with two of those local artists today, Shane and Noah. Say hello.
Hello, this is Noah. This is Shane.
Hi, you guys. We're here to talk about your solo project that you've got going on. I feel like there are a lot of ways to introduce you, so I feel like it would be best if you just introduced yourself. Tell the world who you are.
Cool.
And we'll listen to your music.
Yeah, my name is Noah Steiner. I'm a student at IU. Recently started a solo project because I'm in a band, and it's been a while since we put out some music, so I was about ready to release some stuff. The band is the BMV, the Bureau of Motor Vehicles. I play drums for them. I've been a drummer for a lot longer than anything else, but for the solo project, I play guitar, bass, drums, and I sing, and Shane plays guitar on the hard parts. But the solo project is just like, I don't know, fun songs that I like to listen to that I think other people would like too.
Cool. Yeah. Shane, give us more of your involvement.
So kind of what I do is Noah comes in with the idea, he comes up with like the structure for the song, the content of what it's going to be about, and the general vibe, and then it's kind of my job to figure out how to produce it into more of a finished product that can be, dropped and shared with people. So we'll take like the simple progression, and then we'll add, any ornamentation or extra parts that we need to make sure it's sounding good.
Yeah, Shane's good at when I tell him what, like you said, like what the vibe is supposed to be or like what I want it to sound like. He's good at like punching the buttons on the computer to make it work or coming up with the right, like guitar part to add that'll come up with the effect that we want. So it's like definitely a two-man process. Could not do it without Shane.
I think it's what's really astounding is what you were just telling me outside is how quickly these songs come together. Mm-hmm. The first song that we're going to listen to from you is called Everybody Else. It came out last night.
Yeah.
And it came together in how many days?
We started recording on, I think, Tuesday. And it's now Friday, and the song is out.
Can you even do that? Like, does DistroKid let you put stuff out
that is the
that
fastest DistroKid will let you put it out. We were going to put it out, I think, we were going to schedule it for dropping at midnight, and we just told them, I think we recorded it on Tuesday, mixed it on Thursday, and then dropped it Thursday night.
Okay, which honestly stresses me out. That is such a fast turnaround.
I was a little worried because I wanted to play it on this show, and I was worried we weren't going to make it in time, and DistroKid wasn't going to have it out in time, but we made it.
They saved the day. I feel like the first order of business, because it sounds amazing, and then you listen to the song, and you're like, oh my god, this is actually bananas that this was recorded in less than a week. So I feel like we should listen to the song first. Then we'll talk about it and hear some more from you guys. But first, this is Everybody Else by Noah Steiner with help from Shane Hickman. Enjoy.
Traffic on my way to pick you up. Your promise
All right, that was everybody else. Please tell me if you could break down, and however great length you want to or not, just what it was like to make this song. You were talking about how many stacks of things there are, but what did it look like to make this song on Tuesday?
So yeah, I think I walked in. We record this all at Shane's house because he has better equipment than I do. Mm-hmm. So I think I walked in and I had the verse. I had all like the guitar parts written. Like I had the chords written out. I knew kind of what I wanted the structure of the song to be, except for the outro. We came up with that a little bit later. Mm-hmm. But for like the beginning part of the song, I had all the guitar parts written out. I had the chorus written because actually like a week earlier we had made an attempt at making a song and made possibly the worst song we've ever done, but it had that chorus, and like we knew that chorus was gold, so we were like, all right, we're just gonna wait until like have a better song, we can recycle it and put it back in. So then with that kind of being the base, I guess I wrote the verse lyrics that and on Tuesday we only had one verse written, and then I wrote the second verse like 10 minutes before we recorded it. Like he was mixing the guitar parts or something. I was like trying to come up with a second verse really fast. And then from there, I guess it's just like once we have like the main guitar track down, it usually is just going through the instruments. So guitar, then bass, then vocals, then drums is usually last, and then like after that it's like miscellaneous guitar tracks and vocal tracks. Yeah, it's pretty much like we've done this a few times, so we have a bit of a process worked out. So it's not like we know what we're doing a little bit before we go in. Shane?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I feel like we tend to lay out like a bare bone structure of the song. So like the entire form is laid out on a guitar track, and then like the bass, then the vocals. So like the whole song is there, and if we want to change up the form, we can just like chop up the different parts. So like
we do that
chorus, verse, bridge, chorus, or something like that.
Like copy and cut and paste a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and then once we have like the cut and pasted scratch track, then we record around that once we like know the form, which really helps to solidify it because we come in with such like an abstract form, I guess.
Yeah.
Like we know what all the parts are gonna be eventually. We don't know what order they're gonna be in.
Yeah, that's very true. It's like I'll have the verse changes and the chorus changes and the bridge changes all written, but I won't know how I'm gonna get from one thing to another one. And that's a criticism that I've gotten from some of my good friends too. They're like, it sounds like you need to work on your transitions between your verses and your choruses. So I try to do that more on everybody else.
Yeah, cool. What? So this is the third song that you've released in 2023. We're gonna hear definitely Audrey, and hopefully you don't have the time if we have the time. But what inspired? Like, what made you want to go for it this year? Was it just like a new year, new me type of thing, or?
I think it was because we put out those two demos in 2022, Permanent Vacation and Call Me Back, and those were both just kind of like, we didn't really know where this project was going yet. We just recorded them for fun, and then Shane convinced me to release them. So we just put those out, and then didn't really promote them at all, was just kind of sharing them with my friends and my family, and I got like a super positive reception. So then I had these other songs, in the works, or I was starting to write a little bit more, and I just decided that we were going to put out more. And especially when we can get through a song in less than a week, it's like, we both have the time right now. Why wouldn't we just like go and put a song out?
Yeah, right. How are your approaches to this different than your approaches for the BMV?
Okay, well, good question. For the BMV, Shane and our other guitarist Oscar write all the songs, and then our vocalist Adrian will write the lyrics, and our bass player Ishan will write the bass part. So that leaves me to just write the drum part. So with the BMV, I feel like I'm a lot more filling up a space in an already conceived idea rather than trying to come up with my own thing entirely. I'm a lot more of a supporting role.
Yeah.
And the BMV features, I would say, our vocalist Adrian and Shane, our guitarist, the most. It's like you hear their parts, that's what you're there to listen to, and then the rest of us are basically filling in around them. But with this, it's like I have to come up with everything, with Shane's help. But I have to come up with everything, the whole song.
Yeah. How does it differ from you, Shane, since you're doing guitar on both?
Yeah, so for me, honestly, the main difference is I guess I do produce for like both groups, but the production on the BMV, we try to be a lot closer to what you'd consider like DIY standard for industry, like what other DIY bands are putting out, right? And so we'll spend like 2 weeks on like the mixing and mastering process. A couple hours a day, sit down, take a step back from it, listen, and really try to dial in some sounds we like. Whereas with this, if we get something that's like, that might work, that might not, but it's like in the realm of acceptable, we kind of leave it and move on, and then just work at the end on just adjusting things to make it just good enough to get out, rather than sitting there and nitpicking forever.
Especially since I would say that part of the reason for that is speed, but the other reason is I've like, in the past year, I've really fallen in love with this like garage rock sound. So with that comes a lot of like rawness and imperfection, and I've really come to enjoy leaving that in my tracks, so you can hear all that, and you can hear how rough it is. And then we call every song a demo, so no one can
So
get
no
mad
strings
at us.
attached. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a cop out. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, a little bit.
Eventually we'll do them for real.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We want to, but that's a lot of like, oh my God, it's like such a huge challenge to try and like re-record and remaster all these songs we already have out so they're like better, and then put them all on an album. Like that is the goal. It will happen at some point, but damn, like that's a daunting challenge right now.
Yeah, right. Well, it's great that you're just making and seeing what happens.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit more about the garage rock influences and like who you've really been loving recently?
Good question. Well, I say recently I've been into a lot of White Stripes. Sex Bomb. That's the band from the Scott Pilgrim movie, which I just watched for the first time. Apparently there's like a reputation for people that like that movie, but anyway, I really liked the music that was in it, so I was trying to make it kind of like that. I've always been like a huge Weezer fan. Can't believe I'm admitting that on air, but been a huge Weezer fan, Big Strokes fan. Those are probably the big ones. White Stripes most recently though is like the main influence.
Cool. Shane, is there anybody that has been inspiring you?
Honestly, I kind of just take whatever like he gives me as like the reference track. He always usually has like one song that pretty heavily inspired a track, and I just try to match that vibe.
Not that we ripped anything off.
Like without it's transformative, not derivative. You know.
Yeah.
We just try to capture the same energy
Yeah.
in a different song.
Yeah. And that's super helpful with production when you have like a song that you're trying to base, you know, the production or the soundscape of a certain track off of. When you like have something to listen to and then try and get close to, it's like way easier than just starting with no direction and then trying to get somewhere.
Yeah. I think that we should listen to the first song that you put out this year, Audrey.
Okay.
So it's really not about a girl named Audrey?
It's really not. There's a little bit of a story. Like I wrote the song, and it's like a pretty like cheesy, I don't know if it's like a love song or a breakup song, but it has cheesy lyrics. And it wasn't really a girl to write it about, but for years it's been like an inside joke with a bunch of my friends that since I was in like 6th grade, I had a crush on my friend's older sister named Audrey, and she's like 4 or 5 years older than us or whatever. And so that's been an inside joke for 10 years, and then we were trying to come up with what name to use on the song, and like I was like, oh, let's just do Audrey. That one, like, it's the right amount of syllables. It'll sound good on the track, so we went with it. But I had to put in the disclaimer because all my friends would have heard that and be like, no way, you wrote a song about Audrey. So no, really not about a real person.
But maybe about the older sister, but
perhaps.
You just borrowed her name. Cool. Well, you'll hear the disclaimer in the song in just a second. This is Audrey, Noah Steiner. Enjoy.
Disclaimer, this song is not about a real person.
Oh, Audrey, you could kill me and I wouldn't say a thing. The last time I had you over, I could not tell what you mean. Oh, Audrey, you could steal my car and crash into a tree. I would just go buy a new one and give you the extra keys. Oh, Audrey, why do you say what you do? Oh, Audrey, why am I falling for you? Tell me the truth. Oh, Audrey, why am I falling for you? Oh, Audrey, you could burn my house down, leave me on the streets,
And we're back. That was Audrey Demo by Noah Steiner. Yeah, what a fun song. I'm curious, Noah, because you've been talking about how drums is kind of like where you started as a musician. How does it feel to be doing vocals? Like, how do you feel as a singer-songwriter?
Feels awesome, man. I feel like a rock star.
Yeah.
I was extremely unconfident in my vocal skills for like the longest time. Basically until we started this project. And like I had tried making songs with Shane before, and I would try and sing on them, and it sounded really terrible. And what I've discovered is like I have to sing super high up in my range to make my vocals sound good. Like basically as high as I can go. If I do anything other than like the highest I can go, it sounds pretty weak.
Okay.
But it's a lot of fun doing vocals. It's like I don't know, I'm not trained at all on vocals, and I taught myself guitar and bass too, so it's a lot of like, I guess like it sounds like an amateur performance. Like it sounds like someone who taught themselves how to do all these things, but it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah. This is like a simple question. I should have asked it earlier, but can you explain how you guys first met?
What was it, math class?
Like 6th grade math class.
Yeah,
I think,
we met in middle school, just
Yeah.
like in school. Originally, we were all friends because of like, we were all like soccer fans, I think.
Soccer and music, I think.
And then, yeah, a bunch of our friends were music fans as well, and we've just, I guess music has kept us together.
Aw.
Yeah.
You guys went the music route instead of the soccer route, it looks like.
Eventually,
Definitely,
yeah.
yeah.
Not that we don't still love soccer, but music is a little more attainable, I think.
Soccer's fun too, though.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Would you guys ever consider adding another person to the mix to help you on this? Or
With this project? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We were about to have one of my other friends who's an amazing musician, but specifically a bass player. We were going to have him on this track. Well, actually, not to play bass. He was going to play piano on it.
Ooh.
But we ended up cutting out the piano, so he was not on it. So, but we are open to adding new people. I guess it still comes back to like the speed of like our production process is like when it's just the two of us, we know exactly what we're trying to get done with each take, so it's less messing around and like talking, making jokes and stuff. Not that I don't love doing that stuff, like especially when we're doing music, but like I don't know, another person might slow us down. Don't you think?
I don't know. Like the album we're working on with our other band, the BMV, we're like getting up over I think a year now in terms of how long we've been working on it, because that's like a 5-piece thing, and to just get 5 people in one place for a long enough time to like even track 10 songs is like a really big kind of labor. So it helps a lot with just consistently dropping, which I think is also kind of important in establishing your sound and, you know, getting people to recognize your sound. It's just being consistent and either playing a lot of live gigs or like dropping a lot of music. So I think it does help with us both being here and being able to record kind of frequently to put out music.
Yeah. What do they say? 2's company, 3's a crowd.
Yeah.
Something like that. I don't know.
Perfect analogy.
Thank you. Also, 3 can keep a secret if
I didn't know that one.
One of them are dead. Is that a phrase? Anyways.
I never heard that before.
Let's not put it into practice, though, I guess. But, yeah, that's so exciting. And you were saying that you haven't performed these 3 songs live, but
there's not been a Noah Steiner performance yet.
But potentially in the future.
Hopefully. I would love to. It's just haven't had the chance to yet.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah, I would love to. There's, like, I'm not, like, holding back at all. It's just, I guess I've been focused on more recording than performing with this project. But I think it'll happen at some point.
Cool. And I think we're all looking forward to it. We've got some time, so I know that you said that this wasn't your favorite of the batch.
Yeah.
But it's, you know, to the listener, it's a really good song, so I feel like we should give it a chance on air.
Yeah, all right.
This is You Don't Have the Time. Any preemptive words, or should we just let people form their opinions?
I don't know. I think I'm just tired of it because I wrote it a long time ago, actually. This is not one that I wrote in 2 days and recorded.
Okay.
So it's been around a while. I heard it a bunch of times. This is one I was talking about, like, we had tried to record demos before, but, like, the vocals weren't good enough on them. This is one of them. So changed the key so I could sing it differently and, like, had some better ideas, changed the verse. So I don't know. I guess for that reason I'm just, like, a little tired of it. A little tired of hearing it. But no, play it for the listeners. They'll like it.
Okay, awesome. Everyone, this is You Don't Have the Time, Noah Steiner. Enjoy.
Well, last time I was standing here was when you left me this time last year. And I just want you to know that I'm doing fine. And maybe if I see you back in town for old time's sake, we can kick it around. And I'll pretend that everything's alright. I can't stay here. I can't stay here now. I can't stay here. I keep trying to get you close to me, but you say you don't have the time. You tell me you're tired and wanna leave, but I'm too puffed up to drive. So it goes. It seems like there's always some new thing, another reason that you can't see me. I'm at my wit's end because of you. What's so wrong about writing songs about girls and drinking all night long? Maybe that's just what I like to do. I can't stay here. I can't stay here now. I can't stay here. I keep trying to get you close to me, but you say you don't have the time. You tell me you're tired and wanna leave, but I'm too puffed up to drive. So it goes. I can't stay here. I can't stay here now. I can't stay here. I can't stay here now. I keep trying to get you close to me, but you say you don't have the time. You tell me you're tired and wanna leave, but I'm too puffed up to drive.
And we're back. That was You Don't Have the Time, Noah Steiner. I think it fits right in with the other two, and it's probably, I'm sure you've listened to it a bunch, but to everybody else, it's new and fresh, and it's
Yeah.
very exciting. So I'm glad we got to play it.
Yeah.
But we've got a couple minutes left. If there's anything that you guys want to get the listeners excited about, anything people can expect in the future, anything you might want to plug, now's your time.
I mean, the Noah Steiner album when it eventually comes out, and the BMV album whenever that comes out.
That's right.
Both of those are date TBA, but they will
Probably
come
this
out.
summer.
They'll probably come out over the summer. They'll be out at some point. So yeah, just listen to Noah Steiner, listen to the BMV. I think that's all I got right now.
Cool. And the people can find you, Noah Steiner, on all,
Yeah, Noah Steiner on all
Streaming.
streaming services.
and the BMV as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, BMV is the Bureau of Motor Vehicles, like the government institution.
Yeah, you gotta look up the full name for that one.
Can I tell you guys something? This is like totally a personal aside, but in Virginia, we have the DMV. So I thought that you guys just made up. I thought you just switched the first letters. And then I learned, no, that's what they call it here. So
that's actually why the gag came about, is because the DMV, like each state has like trademarked the state name and then like DMV, but they hadn't taken like just the BMV. And so we just went and took that name on as many things as we could and started releasing music under it. Because the BMV wasn't supposed to happen as a musical project.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a joke. We came up with the name, and we came up with like a bunch of funny song titles that no one would ever be able to search.
Yeah.
And then we dropped a song, and people were like, we want more of this. And so then we ended up like having to drop like an album, and then that did kind of well. And so that's when we started like putting out more music and actually playing.
That's amazing. So everybody, if you have a good name, that's half the battle. You're almost there to being a successful band recording artist.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, that was a great takeaway. Thank you guys. Thank you, Shane. Thank you, Noah, for being on and for talking about your music. I hope everyone enjoyed listening. We're about to have Just Mike on to talk about his song that just dropped today, Zeros and Ones. But Shane and Noah, thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
And we'll see you guys in the future.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, bye. And we're back. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to listen to Noah Steiner and Shane talk about their solo project. I'm now joined in the studio by Just Mike. Say hello.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
Awesome. You've actually been on the show before.
Yeah. I was here with the Street Pennies. Yeah.
Yes.
That was a good time.
There was maybe 10, 11 people in the studio.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to hear from you extensively, but welcome back.
Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Great to see you again. Can you tell us what we're here today, though, to listen to and talk about?
Yeah, for sure. I just released a new single called Ones and Zeros. It's more different from the other songs I've released before. It's like more of a party song, like a club vibe, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you just got to branch out. I'm not a rapper, but I just had like that good party music, and I was like, I gotta do something with this. I can't just let it sit. So
Yeah.
it became what it became, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Well, we're going to take a listen to it. I also have Pink Butterfly on deck, so if we've got time to listen to that, I would love
Say
to.
Bless. It's a banger.
It is a banger, and it's also so different from from Ones and Zeros, so I think it'd be fun to hear that contrast. But yeah, I mean, why not? Let's just listen to the new song. Did it drop officially last night?
Yeah, so it definitely, I've got it out on YouTube right now. I've been looking at Apple and Spotify. It's like not out officially, but I think I might have messed up the times to be like 11:59 like tonight instead of last night. So it's dropping today, but just like not till like later, you know what I'm saying?
So you guys should stay up
Right.
for that release, or it's already on YouTube, or
Party
you'll hear it
time.
right now.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone, this is Ones and Zeros. Just Mike. Enjoy.
for who? Maybe I'm a host, I might come out over time and balling so hard, can find out the power. When Shawty was a homie, I rapped her. Why my bar so weak, cause I'm not a rapper. Shout out amigos. Mama, money, mama, money. Ha ha ha. It just might shatter. It just might It just might shatter. It just might It just might shatter. It just yeah. Hey. We're getting lit tonight. Everybody rocking with me. We tied. How about the Nissan Central Light? I'm the coolest brother in the club. That's right. I'm looking for a reason to spill the tea. You wish you had it like me. I be making nice for free. I be making sure it's for me. Come on, you know how the style go hard. It's not about bopping my head to the beat. No, socks on my feet. No, paws on me. It just might. It just might. It just might shut it. Take off. Wait on it.
And we're back. That was Ones and Zeros, just Mike.
Yeah.
Dude, so fun. So much fun. Tell us a little bit more, because there's a female vocalist who happens to be your sister.
Yeah, my sister's on there. Renee Carter. She's at IU actually. Shout out IU Soul Review. You know what I'm saying? If you heard of them, go out to them shows. You'll see Renee singing and dancing. You know what I'm saying? She's tight. But yeah, it's dope. I mean, I really like that party vibe. You know what I'm saying? I had all that music just sitting there for like 3 years, just like that beat, you know, and I was like, I'm not a rapper, what am I gonna do? And I was just like, man, screw it, I'm just gonna say a bunch of stuff. You know,
say a bunch of stuff. Can you give us some lines from there? Some of your favorite lines, if you have any.
That's actually perfect because, like, you know, I love memes and like references and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you ever heard of like Migos, you know, the Migos group, Rip Takeoff, which I also said at the end of the song.
Yes.
But I love their music and I love all their ad libs and stuff. So that was like the first thing all day. Yeah. I hit them with the mama money. I love that stuff. It gets me going. So I put that all throughout the song, and then just like a bunch of different like random lines, like, you know, Ariana Grande is always on that. Yeah, So I was like, let me put that in the song. I made my sister do that, you know, and that's why I said it in the line. I'm Ariana Grande, and I'm gonna tell her to come out and play, so we can get down to the you know what I'm saying? Because we're getting Ariana herself in the dance club, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then, you know, I got a lot of other lines and stuff in there, but I'm not going to go through all of it because, you know, I have to do one of those genius, you know, lyric interviews if you ever seen those on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's where Mike's going after this.
Yeah. I'm actually going to head over there right after this. But yeah. Oh, yeah, and we were talking about the sample earlier from that old 80s party song. It's like, why are you so afraid to play, you know? But we didn't want to get sued, so we changed up the melody on that second part. But otherwise, it's like the same thing. I forget the name of the song though. I'm so dog for that. But yeah.
If any of you listeners know, let us know.
Yeah, you'll know. Like when you listen to the song, if you like old '80s music, you'll know where it's from.
Mm-hmm. I also heard a little bit of is there Cardi's What's in there? Does he go from Magnolia?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Oh my God.
I don't listen to a ton of rap, but I clocked that.
That's a deep cut. That's like old school. When I was in high school, like freshman year, I used to spam Magnolia. The girls on that cover were bad, for real. I used to love that song, and that's one of my favorite ad-libs. Wah. I'm going to always say that till I die. On my alternatives music, I'm going to still put those ad-libs in there, probably.
Okay. Stay tuned, everybody. It's a very fun single, and I really want to play Pink Butterfly so people can hear the contrast. But why? I mean, you are the keyboardist in Street Pennies, so you're kind of a jack of all trades. You're doing a lot of different things. But why a solo project? Why are you doing this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I've just always wanted to. I've always wanted to be in a band, honestly, but I didn't have any musician friends in high school. So it was just me there, and my dad used to be a producer back in his like 20s and stuff, and he can play multiple different instruments and stuff. So now he just does it as a hobby. So I used to always just go into his office, especially during COVID, no one's doing anything. So I just go in there and he just show me Logic Pro X, and like I played drums in high school. I was just learning piano like senior year. And so I was just really getting into it, loved all the different sounds he was showing me, just made a crap ton of like tracks and stuff that I've just been sitting on. Get to college, join the band, and we're like covering stuff. So I'm getting like more live experience. So I just feel like I'm in a really good spot to like put my own stuff out, and then like I've got connections, so hopefully I can start playing this stuff live after I put it out.
That's awesome. And that's super cool. It kind of seems like a family endeavor. You've got your dad and your sister helping and stuff. But...
Yeah, we're finally, we've been trying to like make some music as a family, and
awesome.
We love Christmas and stuff, so we're finally like working on like Christmas music, but not till next Christmas. But
right.
Yeah.
A ways to go.
Right, right. But that's what we're getting into, you know what I'm saying? So definitely a musical family. My mom's a singer and can play piano as well. So I really just got it from them. I was like probably always going to do music in some way or another.
Yeah, right. Now that's crazy. I didn't realize that you only started playing keys in your senior year of high school.
Yeah.
That's like relatively recently.
Yeah, pretty much. Like I always knew the basics from like childhood, but I kind of just stopped playing until senior year for sure. And then I just started like learning my favorite songs through like YouTube tutorials, and just went from there.
Yeah. Who are you were telling us a little bit during the break, but who are your musical influences?
Yeah, I've got I'm always trying to listen to like new music, but recently Steve Lacy, he's on top of it. Love that guy, all his different chords and stuff. I'm a big music listener. Like I don't really pay attention to the lyrics first that much. Like I'm always looking for what's going on in the background. Steve Lacy's doing that. Tyler, the Creator's always doing that. And Top Dog's my favorite of all time. Silk Sonic, that's Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. I don't know. I've listened to their album more times than days are in the year. I don't know. Yeah, they're great. They're my biggest inspiration for sure.
That's awesome. I am curious, when you started writing, like, it's interesting that you said that you didn't listen to the lyrics first. You're just kind of consuming the music as a whole. As a solo artist, like, what has your approach to songwriting, and what is it that you want to write about?
Yeah, it was definitely tough at first. Like the Ones and Zeros is a good example of just like putting the music first, because like it's really about, I've got a lot of different stuff going on in the background there.
Yeah.
But like, for like Pink Butterfly is a good example of like what I was trying to songwrite about. And that's also what I'm going to try to write about in the future, which is just like, I've been through a lot of like heartbreak and stuff like that. And I mean, ever since I was like in kindergarten, I've just always had a crush on somebody. So just the many different waves that love can come in, like highs and lows and stuff. That's definitely when I'm trying to work on an album right now. So that's definitely what I'm trying to songwrite about.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think we should listen to Pink Butterfly. I've been talking some big talk about it. Super great song. Gonna be a diversion from Ones and Zeros, but worth the listen. Everybody, this is Pink Butterfly, Just Mike. Enjoy.
Wrong. I said I'm sorry. Now every night feels long without your shawty. You got me on my knees. I'm begging please. If you don't want to come out tonight, then you gon' be missing out on your life. It's time to let go, shawty. It's time to be free from whatever's keeping you from being with me. Yeah, I'm a fool. Why can't we stay together? This better not be another painful lesson. I'm through, just wanna stay with you. Fighting, not talking, we're faking, always to hating. I know I'm in the wrong, but there's no right way. I'm turning left, I'm gone to leave you alone. I'm on the highway, can't have it my way, can't have you, but I'll U-turn that thing if you say the right thing. Bang, bang, shot it, it's nothing, not it. Your body ain't my goal. I'm trying to get through to your heartache. We both feel the pain as it grows. Should be a different vibe, man, this place blows. All I ever do is overthink it, you and everybody knows. You're so unique like a pink butterfly, pretty soon you're gonna know that. Yeah, I'm a fool, why can't we stay together? This better not be another painful lesson. I'm through, just wanna stay with you. And if we can't make it, let's go. Let's fly away today to somewhere that won't make us hurt. Feel like we're dirt. You make me feel like I'm in the sky. Touching the clouds, I'm okay. And I really miss your face. Yeah, I'm a fool. Come on, let's stay together. This better not be another painful lesson. I'm through, I'm gonna stick with you.
All right, that was Pink Butterfly. Such a
Yeah.
lovely little listen. I'm curious because you have all these things that you do. Keys, you've played drums, you songwrite, you produce. My theory is that everybody has that, like, even if you're multi-talented, multi-instrumentalist, you have that one thing that is like the core of your musicianship. So I'm wondering if that feels true for you, if there's something that you're doing that's like, this is always my home base, this is the thing I'm most excited about, or if everything excites you.
That's a great question. Everything definitely does excite me, but drums is like what I always come back to. I started out on drums. I started playing like in 8th grade, and all throughout high school I played for my dad's church. So like I've just as I spoke earlier, Anderson .Paak, who's in Silk Sonic now, I was listening to him before Silk Sonic and like just trying to get better at drums. Like I would definitely practice, but like sometimes I would just listen to him and just try to do the stuff he was doing.
Yeah.
And I was like clearly getting better for it because he's just that good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm always like the first thing I notice is like what's the beat doing and like how's the groove driving, because like that's what music is for me. Like it makes me move. It makes me want to like dance and stuff at the end of the day. Like I love getting into that sad stuff. I got a whole playlist of my white girl stuff, you know. It's great. But like at the end of the day, I'm always going to go back to that like Anderson .Paak or that 24 Karat Magic Bruno Mars where you just busting a move, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, definitely drums.
That's awesome. Could you see yourself doing that like in a bigger capacity with Street Pennies or with this?
I mean, hopefully, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we've never tried like switching instruments, I guess, with Street Pennies, but we definitely could. Like we do it in rehearsals all the time. It's like we just trade places if we're just feeling it. But yeah, definitely with my own stuff, that's gonna be. I have like a lot of different ideas of what I want to do live, but that's definitely one of the main ones. Is like whoever I get to play with me, one of the songs, we're all gonna switch, and it's gonna be a fun little swap, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so much fun. Well, what can the people expect from you in the future, in the near future or far future?
I would say hopefully sometime like spring. I'm hoping like spring break. I'm gonna try to release an EP. You know, I'm sitting on like a lot of music right now, so like
Okay.
this the beginning of the year, you know, it's January right now. So like just all throughout the year, I'm hoping to just like keep releasing stuff, you know, stop sitting on everything and like start doing stuff, you know, making it happen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, springtime EP, hopefully summertime, maybe fall time, like a full album, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome.
So that's what I'm working on. And then, you know, after that, playing it live, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Awesome. Well, everyone should be very excited about that. And I'm excited to see what you put out in the future and who it sounds like. And I think it's really cool that even though, I mean, the two songs we put are so different, they still sound like you know what I mean? They're still your thing. And it's cool to have like that whole range within one artist. So I hope people are excited about that. But where can the people find you, Just Mike, on streaming platforms?
Yeah, you can find me anywhere, Instagram, TikTok, it's Just Mike, Apple Music, Spotify, Just Mike, you know what I'm saying? It's Just Mike. Shout out Street Pennies. We have a show at Bluebird coming up February 9th. Follow Street Pennies for show. I'm in there. We also have a show in Indy at the Hi-Fi February 11th. So shout out them, you know what I'm saying? Show up, show out. I'm going to be on the keys, you know, in the back, doing my little thing, you know what I'm saying?
Awesome. Yes, lots of places where people can find you. Just Mike, thank you for coming on. It's been awesome playing your songs. To everybody else listening, thank you so much for tuning in and catching these great artists. I'm here every Friday at 3 p.m. Next week I got Connor McLaren on. And potentially a special guest from out of town coming on. I'm doing a little special show, which I will tease later. But yeah, it's been so great to talk to you, Mike, and to Noah and to Shane. I'll see you guys next week. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. Love you, Bloomington. And I'll see you next week. Bye.